World's Championship title has been successfully defended. Well, what's this? It's a special 20-minute bout, one fall to a finish, between King Kong Kashey, the gentleman on my left who rather resembles a gorilla from which he took his name, and Dr. Patrick O'Callaghan of Ireland in the right-hand corner here. King Kong assumes a gorilla-like posture over there as the bout begins, comes out in a low crouch that reminds you a bit of Jack Dempsey in his prime, and immediately tries a side chancery, falls out of it, and what is this, he says, what am I up against here? That look of surprise on King Kong Kashey's face is very obvious. Now, apparently, one of the fans down there at ringside has said something that King Kong doesn't like because he takes exception to it and then changes his mind, realizes he's up against a tough customer and he'd better stick to wrestling. Back on his feet again he goes and complains to the referee that Dr. Patrick O'Callaghan has a clenched fist. In just a moment or two, King Kong will clench his own fist, but then he thought that he had a legitimate spark there. Out comes that left foot of his to kick Dr. O'Callaghan in the midsection. O'Callaghan comes crashing and asking for more. King Kong examines his tooth. Maybe he's lost a tooth out of that plate, and after all, that's expensive. Well, there's a little feat that he did that he probably couldn't do again. He's gone mad, apparently. See that hammer in that right hand that one of the customers took away as referee McDonald stopped him just in time. Well, he comes back a little more warily this time. He realizes that he's up against a real tough customer, and Dr. O'Callaghan crashes 3 more, 4 rights to his jaw. And again, King Kong looks pretty bad there, appeals to the crowd for sympathy and examines that tooth again. Maybe another one's gone. Back they go in the center of the ring, but only for the moment as Dr. Patrick O'Callaghan gets a Boston Crab on King Kong Kashey, who writhes in agony on that canvas and in pain hammers the canvas with his fist and crawls out under the bottom rope looking for protection. Believe me, ladies and gentlemen, he needs it. And he's still arguing with Dr. O'Callaghan, the referee, and anybody else that cares to argue with him. Ducks in under the doctor's guard for a moment. The doctor swarms all over him and gets around behind, ready to get a body scissors. There it is, a body scissors and a punishing hold it is, and down he crashes to the canvas. King Kong crashes to the canvas with a thud that could be heard all over that vast auditorium, and down he goes once again as O'Callaghan goes right to work with a full Nelson. The King Kong looks a little bit helpless, but only for a moment. He's back on his feet again. Over shoulder he goes, crashing to the canvas, taking quite a beating from Dr. Patrick O'Callaghan, the Irish doctor. Back in the referee's hold once more they go. O'Callaghan obviously having the edge there as he gets that wrist lock and again reverses that hold, gets behind, and there's that airplane whirl, and King Kong crawls under that bottom rope for protection, comes up, holding his back, hoping to arouse a little sympathy in an unsympathetic audience, crashes that forearm into Dr. O'Callaghan's jaw once again. Over he goes in that top rope, and again it's the injured back. These two boys stand toe-to-toe, swapping punches for all they're worth. They've forgotten everything about wrestling, ladies and gentlemen. Just look at those two great giants of the mat as they stand there and swap punches toe-to-toe. What's this? One of the customers down at ringside has taken exception to King Kong, and they're mixing it up, and a pretty husky lad that is in that white shirt and the suspenders there, too. And the other customers at the ringside get in to break up this private little war that King Kong Kashey has down there. But still, he's crawling back into the ring, but it's too late because he has been disqualified. The referee claims that he didn't come back into the ring soon enough. King Kong Kashey says it wasn't my fault. It's this fellow down here at the ringside. Now he's forgotten all about this wrestling match. He has just one idea, apparently, and that is to mix it up with this spectator. Down he goes again. Watch this. Well, it takes his second and the referee and practically everybody else in that arena there to keep him away and keep these two boys apart. That is a tough customer. That's Chief Little Wolf there that's going to work on King Kong Kashey. King Kong Kashey apparently has gone mad here, and Chief Little Wolf has too, we might say, as they stand there, separated only by that rope, swapping punches for all they're worth. That's enough for Chief Little Wolf. He goes back down to his seat, but it's not enough for King Kong Kashey, who's gone raving, tearing mad over there, and that looks like a little overripe fruit that comes down in his direction from the customers there. Look at it come down into the ring. King Kong looks the whole crowd all over now, dares anybody to come up into the ring. to mix it up with him, looks the crowd all over, and in disgust says, I'm through with a whole bunch of you. I'm just going to go home. But that homeward way may be a long one, ladies and gentlemen, because he's got to go down that aisle to the dressing room, and that's a hostile crowd down in that corner. That's where he had that great mix-up, you know. Let's see if he can negotiate that long, weary last mile to the dressing room in safety. Apparently not. It's a mix-up down there in the crowd. It's a mix-up. It's King Kong Kashey and half a dozen of those spectators, and they're mixing it up down there for all they're worth. But after one look at that angry mob, ladies and gentlemen, this is King Kong Kashey going home, and this is not Manning saying so long.